lately the issue about patios and encroachment on the edge of the sidewalk has been in the news lately, and I'd like to talk about it a little bit. First of all, some places, I should say most aren't, but there is starting to be a few more of it working and making them partially accessible. Some restaurants have brought the height, for example, down. They put in lower ramps, so you can actually, I believe, get into the restaurants now where you couldn't before. It was just a couple of steps, which there was no need for. One issue is, well, the city of Ottawa is looking at 2 meters from the, now I believe it's from the patio to the edge of the sidewalk, but it doesn't take into account signposts like no parking signs, which are usually full, especially on a busy night. Bikes tied to them. Half of them are always on their side and take half the sidewalk. But I'm going to patronize the place of business, and it's not just me going in. It'll be going in with friends. So it's not just one customer. It's 3 or 4 customers, or however many in my party. So it's just an economic case for a lot of the businesses.
On Preston Street right now, looking at the various restaurants and seeing if they meet the bylaw or not, or if they're good enough. Generally, I think Preston Street's a very good street, except for maybe a small portion of it that's not quite, maybe not quite meet the needs of disabled people, and that could be improved upon. I don't care for grandfathering in. If you don't meet the requirements, you don't meet the requirements, and it's not about what's the word? It's allowing for everybody to use the sidewalk. If you're in a wheelchair or a scooter, or even pedestrians to walk. Even 2 people walking pedestrians down that it can be tough, right? So if you're grandfathered in, you should be trying to. It's a public walkway, and if you're in a chair or walking or whatever, you should be able to have access to that walkway. I just want to have people have equal access. Like, why shouldn't someone in a wheelchair have the same access as someone who able-bodied who can walk to get into a restaurant and enjoy all the restaurants in Ottawa? It's just everyone should have equal access to get in.
I just want it needs to be done. A 2 meter is probably just in my opinion the minimum. I would also go as far as to say there needs to be enforcement of not putting out the sandwich boards vertically, I guess, standing out into the sidewalk, as well as bikes being tied up to the parking signs are not an actual bike stands. So those things have to be considered as well, and regulated and enforced.